Alright guys, welcome back to another episode of the Frey Experience. Of course, I am Tyler Frey. If you guys don't already follow me on Instagram, follow me here, 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 and here, or most likely just right here. So this is going to be my favorite all-time, my top 5 all-time baits I like to throw in ponds, or just in general this time of year. It is June 28th, and those top 5s will have their own top 5s that go in order, like just what I like to throw in general. So we're going to start off with, actually let me tell you what my top 5 are. We have soft plastic worms, or just any soft plastic in general from like a small swim bait, that kind of stuff. But we'll go soft plastics, jigs to creature baits. Let's see what else we got here. We got frogs, hard plastics, and then the 5th one being miscellaneous, other baits that go along with all those categories. So let's start off with, no sneeze. Let's start with frogs. Right here, this is coming in at number 5. Right here is the Lunker Hunt. Right here, this is the Lunker Hunt. That kind of a little has some legs, appendages on it. I forget the name of it, but I love to throw it. It comes in a great variety of colors. This is one of my favorite right here. This is the green tea, I believe. Yeah, green tea. And right here, I absolutely love this. My dog just opened up the door by herself, and I am absolutely amazed right now. Wow. So right here, this is green tea. My biggest fish on a frog, or my biggest bass on a frog, is 4 pounds, and that's not a very big. That's why I heard like that's the average fish, like a 3 or 4 pound frog fish is average at the Delta. But I like these. They are quite a bit pricey, but they definitely are worth the quality, and they hold up pretty good. I have had actually my biggest frog fish just came on. A Lunker Hunt. This color, no, sorry, it was the leopard. And it actually came off of the frog when it had only one leg. So just having one leg does not deter a fish of that size. Coming in at number 4, right here. Actually, this is it right here. This is the frog right here, guys. Open the box right here. This is actually this will make this number 4 because I like this one. Actually, no. Yeah, we'll make this number 4. Coming in at number 3 right here, we have the Pad Crasher, Booyah Pad Crasher. This is number 3 because of how amazing it walks. Let's start off with that. This absolutely slays. I don't really throw it that often, but when I do, I definitely throw it in more of like sporadic grass, and I'm going away from the grass because this does walk very nice. It does have a shape of a boat, like an overall boat. And that's why I believe it walks pretty good. I do not trim the legs on this one. They do have some pretty big legs, probably about 3.5 to 4. Actually, this is probably, yeah, my finger's 3 with the thing. So it's probably about 3.5 inches long worth of legs right here. And this is in the Bullfrog. And I always throw this on 65-pound test. Nothing lighter than that. Coming in at number 2, we have Jawbone. Absolutely amazing. Jawbone is, sorry, I have stuff in my eye. Jawbone is actually a really good bait company. They make a wide variety of stuff, and I absolutely love their frogs. Their jerk baits, they're very good too, but they lack a couple things. But let's not go into great detail on that. And they're number 2 because they're absolutely amazing. These are like the first frogs I started off with. Let's get the X-side out of here. So I don't have a lot of colors because I have been losing them and I've been giving away because of how cheap they are. But this is my first one this is actually my first frog by Jawbone. And I bought this on eBay for like 7 of them for like $5 or something like that. No, yeah, 7 of them for like $5 before they were like really like, I guess, popular. They're more like just, hard to explain. But this actually came with a rattle in it, and this is I don't really know what the color is. This guy just called this like a bullfrog color. And then here's one that I modified to make it into. You just have to kind of like screw with it a little bit. But I took out the because it's split on the back, so I decided to put little curly tails on there and make it into a like a horny toad kind of thing. This is some of their other model, like their newer colors. Where we have some newer colors right here that we throw right here. These are not bad colors, but overall they're mostly all the same. They're all white on the bottom, and they run for $2.99 a piece, which is an absolutely great price. And the hooks on them are super duper strong and super duper sharp. And my favorite color is camo. It's basically this color right here, but with these skirts on it. These that kind of legs on it. Let's put everything back in here real quick, and then we'll head on to number 1. And this is another great. Actually, this is one of my all-time favorite colors right here because it's black, and I can throw this early in the morning and not feel bad about throwing a frog. This color right here, I don't think I've caught one fish off of it, but not this one in particular. And number 1 is actually the live target hollow body sunfish, and I actually do not have one because I broke 2 off thanks to Power Pro. You guys are gonna hear me bash Power Pro quite a bit because I gave them a second chance in my new video that I just uploaded, and I broke 2 fish off, and they were not over 5 pounds, nothing too crazy. So moving on to, let's go with, let's go to jigs. So right here, this comes in number 5 right here. This is by, I believe, Lunker City. Yeah, Lake Lunker, sorry. And this is in a spray grass kind of color, and I like this to throw around the grass, and I like to punch with it. It's a nice thin profile bait, thinner than some of the others, and it's really good for punching, and it just mimics a craw really nice. And coming in at number 4, we have, of course, Strike King. Anything by Strike King, the Rage Tails right here, or sorry, the Rage Craws, Rage K, they're all the same basically. Not really, but kind of. They all have a coffee scent, which I do find that's quite unique, and you don't find that in a lot of baits. This is actually the lobster. This is the 5-inch, and I use this one just for straight punching, or if there's a big mama on a bed and I want to get her up there. I kind of stopped using Rage Craws just because, like, I got Excite, and Excite basically is better. How do I put it that way? They're cheaper, and they're a lot better. I catch a lot more fish on Excite now lately than I did with the Rage Tails, or Rage Craws. But this one right here, you can't go wrong with watermelon red, but this is just watermelon. This is the 5-inch, this is the lobster. And let's keep moving on. Where's my jigs? Right here. Coming in at number 3. Where's that? Right here. This is a sweet beaver right here. Any of the sweet beavers in a watermelon red is absolutely killer. But the smaller one, and actually, here's the big one. This is the one I like to use. This is the one. I can't remember what color this is, but it's translucent. It has black. I think it's the watermelon red. This is the big hog right here. This is one we like to use for punching on the Delta and Clear Lake. But overall, the Reaction Innovation Sweet Beaver, is amazing. Absolutely slays fish. Let's start off with that. Just slays fish. You could throw them just about anywhere on a football head. Amazing. Add a little skirt to it, just a little couple strands, probably about 6 to 7 strands on each side, and it is perfection. Oh, sorry, right here. Coming in at number 2. No. I thought about this one. This is why I'm kind of having a hard time. We have the Biospawn right here, and a, who makes this? It's a spider jig. I'm having a really hard time deciding, but I've stopped throwing this lately and moved over to Biospawn, and this has a lot more kind of like a style to it for punching, and it is in watermelon with a blue flake on the bottom. And I'm gonna go with Biospawn. I'm gonna go with Biospawn just because of the fact that it's a newer company, and they make a lot of good baits from their plasma tail all the way to their craw right here. And I absolutely love this color. This is the color I got in Mystery Tackle Box, and that's the only color I throw. It's that watermelon with the blue bottom. And I actually use that for a horny toad sometimes because it's just perfection. And of course, number 1 is gonna be Excite. This is the Raptor Tail Junior Watermelon Red, and I am actually all out of them. I basically used them all in my last video bed fishing because the fish were picking off the claws and it was making me super duper mad. But that's all I have for Excite right there, and except for what's coming up in the worms. But it's just, I'm all out of them, but they work. They slay fish on beds and on rocks, trees, grass, anything you could think of. Texas rig it, we'll throw it weightless, but they float, so it turns into a topwater horny toad kind of bait. Drop shot them, you could do that. I've done that before with their the chunks right here. That's in the watermelon right here. But overall, it's a great bait. They float. So basically, what I like to do is, if you basically put it on the Z-Man stand-up head, it works pretty good. Any stand-up jig head just it greatly improves this bait's hookup, not hookup ratio, but just the fact that when it's like in current, any current, or just hopping it around, those claws start going like this. They are amazing. And it really irritates a fish for just that bait to be hopping around and that just the claws perfection right here. Just going like this, moving like this, and it catches fish. Moving on over to hard baits, what I like to throw in ponds. We're going to start off with something that is kind of unusual. And it's going to be jerk baits. You normally don't see a lot of people throwing jerk baits, but I know there's quite a bit of people out there that do throw jerk baits in ponds. And it's definitely just something kind of just weird. You can throw them around trees, grass, sporadic grass. That's why I like to do is that sporadic grass. But it catches fish. And the hookup ratio on a jerk bait is pretty darn good. Just that's in my opinion. I haven't really lost a lot of fish. You know, small ones tend to miss it, but the bigger ones tend to get more hooked up. It's a more cylindrical bait. I have a lot of jerk baits and stuff, just a lot of cylindrical baits, and they all work. And probably my favorite one would have to be the new Rapala that just came out. I can't remember what are they called. I'm horrible with like the specific names of a bait, but is it hollow? It's hologram or something. I can't remember, but they are amazing. Like honestly, like just the color patterns on it. It catches bass, striper, bluegill. It catches everything. And I like that particular. And this one right here is just something I got in Mystery Tackle Box that I throw quite a bit, but not this one in particular. This color is kind of close to what I like to throw. This one is a chartreuse light blue, and this works really good for stained water. That's these like chartreuse colors. I like to use the chartreuse shad. That's just one of my all-time favorite colors. And now we're going over to crankbaits. I got a lot of crankbaits, so I'm not going to go into great detail. But you can't go wrong with Lucky Craft. Lucky Craft is absolutely the definition of perfection when throwing, if you want to get a bait that runs straight out of the package. And it's actually really, really great. I absolutely love Lucky Craft. There we go. We have a deep diver and a shallow diver. This is their new fat CBSRs right here. This one right here, they got MTB. Caught a couple fish on that. I haven't really thrown it that much, but the couple times I have thrown it, I have caught fish just bouncing around off of the rocks. And then Excite makes actually some phenomenal crankbaits. Let's start off with that. I absolutely love their silence, and I love their XB1s. And just because the fact that it's either they're loud or they're quiet. There's no in between. Either you're going loud and proud or you're going silently in there and you're going to get some fish. They make my all-time favorite color has to be the bluegill or the reaper craw, just because of the fact that there's a lot of bait companies that make the bluegill pattern, but it goes too realistic. It goes just full on like kind of like this, like how they did this. This is a crappie pattern, and I don't like a super duper realistic bait. I like it to be more kind of a dolly, kind of like dull, just color wise. And I think that's why I tend to go more with kind of the basicer kind of baits. I'm not going out there just buying $300. That's a lie. I do go out and buy $300 some baits. That's the like glide baits and stuff. Let's start off. Let's not go into great detail about that because we're not throwing those in ponds. So next we're gonna go with, excuse the crankbaits, but we have rattle traps. Red rattle traps in ponds tend to do the best, in my opinion, and they work just about everywhere. Anywhere where there's grass and rocks, pillars, docks, red rattle trap is the way to go. And then going on, what am I at? 1, 2, 3, 4. So like coming in at number 1 is, where's it at? Oh, sorry, right here. It's gonna be a jointed bait of some sort. Jointed bait, right here. I know I don't like to say super realistic, but I don't consider this super realistic because there is some joints and it kind of distorts it, but I don't necessarily throw this one all the time. So why a jointed bait? This one's a top water and I'll consider that jointed, but why a jointed bait is because they're just super duper really good at swimming. They get that perfection. That's why where's my S-Waver? Number 1 is remember to see S-Waver. Let's start off with that. So the S-Waver is absolutely perfect. I like it in the bass, and I like it in, basically I only throw the bass and I throw the chartreuse brown, it's basically the chartreuse trout, but it's, the new colors absolutely suck. Straight up, they suck. Let's start off with that. You gotta stay with the original colors. If you can find some of the chartreuse trouts in the original, golden. What I do is I'll actually hang them outside in the sun to make them even lighter, because when I would get them, they'd be too chartreuse, let's put it that way. And it's just a really good color to throw. The bass one in particular, around the spawn time, throw the SOA around the trees and stuff so you can get some of those big mamas out there tailing around off the beds and stuff. So moving on, what do we got? We have claws, hard baits, frogs. Let's move on to soft plastics. Some of the great baits right here. We have Chomper, Yum, we got Robo Worm, we got Gary Yamamoto, we got Z-Man, and we got Optimum Baits, just to name a few. But you can't go wrong with a Cinco. That's why Cinco is going to be up placing pretty high. But I'm going to start off with number five right here is the Z-Man TRD Finesse in Watermelon Red, or what they like to call California Crop. It's an absolute great bait, and it catches fish. I think my biggest one's 3 pounds on it, and it was using the Ned rig. Let's start off with the Ned rig. Perfection. It's a great bait. It's a great rig, and you can bait just about anything on it, and it helps the bait stand up. That's why this comes in clutch. Just throwing this, they float. Z-Man floats, so that could be that's something you gotta think about. But if you don't want to throw it as a as the Ned rig, I like to split shot it, and I like my split shot to be 12 inches away, 12 to 16 inches away, so that bait actually does float, but it's still nicking and going over stuff. All depends how deep you are, but if I'm fishing a pond, I keep it under 12 inches, 12 to 8 inches, sometimes 6, just in case. And then coming in at number 4, we have Chomper. You guys have been seeing I've been throwing Chomper quite a bit. Absolutely love Chomper. They're an older company. My dad's thrown them when he started off fishing, and they're overall, they make just about everything. Kind of. We mainly throw the Cincos. I stopped throwing the Cincos. I moved over to this little worm right here, and it works pretty darn good. And this is their drop shot worm. Obviously, it's 4-inch, and there's 8 in the pack. I thought there's only 6. My lucky day. It's 4 inches. I'm sorry, I'm reading off this. I have horrible. No, sorry. There's 10 in it. There's 10 in a pack. What am I talking about? There's 10, not 8. We're at 17 minutes right now. This is gonna be a long video. It's salt and garlic. It's watermelon red. Absolutely amazing. What are we at? So number 3 is gonna be right here. This is the Robo Worm. This color right here is definition perfection. It is overall. Sorry, I got stuff in my eyes and I got a little bit of a headache going on. My allergies are kicking my butt right now. And this one, look, what color is this? This is not. I grabbed the wrong pack. Bait problems right here, but we'll go off this one right here because I do throw this one quite a bit, but I won't throw this as much. This is, I think it's summer shad, and I actually throw this weightless, on like a standard drop shot hook, nose hook it, or wacky rig it. This is a really good color to throw just about anywhere because there's a lot of bait fish, and it's just the color works pretty good. The color I was gonna pick was actually Margarita Mutilator or Morning Dawn. Those are really good colors. Number 2. Actually, we're going to tie it up because they work pretty well. I'm sorry I don't have an actual. But Yum Dinger 4-inch, and this is the Gary Yamamoto, but this is supposed to be the 4-inch, but of course I grabbed the wrong pack over there somewhere around here. Overall, they're tied because it's a Cinco, and people say, oh, Yum's better, this company's better, but Gary Yamamoto is the OG Cinco right there. Overall, it's amazing. 7-inch Cinco, when that stuff first came out, slayed him. I wasn't alive. Was I alive? I don't know. Probably not. I'm 18, so I might be alive. I don't know. I don't know. It's just kind of hard. But I heard rumors that the mold comes from the Bic Pen, the original Bic Pen or something like that. But I'm not 100% sure, so don't quote me on that. It's just like a little myth that goes around. But overall, a Cinco destroys fish. It's just the fact that the way it shimmers, goes back and forth. You can twitch it, make those the sides kind of vibrate, move and stuff. And then just the fact that it's just overall a really nice bait. The Gary Yamamoto is a lot more expensive than Yum, and Yum does go on sale for like 5 for $10, and these are like 5 something a pack, like $4 or $5 a pack. So overall, quality is going to be Gary Yamamoto. Quantity and kind of not more of the tournament angler is going to be Yum. But overall, they do their damage. My favorite thing I like to do is with the 7-inch Senko is either wacky rig it or put a 6/0 hook in it, and I'll actually twitch it like a snake or a worm in the water. It does some damage. And coming at number 1 is a big old curly tail worm by Excite right here. This is the absolute. Oh, here's the red craw right here. I did have one. Ha! That's not Morning Dawn. I have all the stuff right here. I didn't even know this. So right here, this bait made by Excite right here. This is not the raptor worm. What is it? It's a giant curly tail worm right here, and it absolutely kills them. My biggest fish on here is I think it's 4.2, and it was on a bed. So kind of weird though to catch I don't really necessarily throw big worms, but when I do throw them in ponds, I tend to throw this one. I have wacky rigged it before and caught a couple fish, but overall the way I like to do is just Texas rig it, have it slowly be dragging the bottom, or since they do float, I'll put a 5/0 hook in it or a 6/0, and I'll put a Senko at the bottom. So what it does is I can bounce it and it makes it stand up. I can bounce it, get that tail going. And overall, it's a really good bait. They're strong. And then some of you are going to leave comments, well, it's because they're your sponsor, or of course you're going to make them be number 1. That's not true. That's not true whatsoever. I picked them not because I'm biased whatsoever. Honestly, I could have picked this one right here. I was thinking about doing it, but the Berkeley Havoc thing right here isn't very good quality. Just broke it right then and there. This one took a lot more for me to do. And that one actually is a little stretched out, has a little weak point there. But that's okay because that's the one that I wacky rigged before. But overall, some of you are going to say, well, it doesn't matter. He could be just lying, doing all that. But it don't matter because I like Excite, and I know other people do. And that's why they're dear to my heart. They're like one of my first sponsors that really made me feel like I'm at home. They weren't just like, okay, here's some papers, fill this out, yada, yada, yada. There you go. But honestly, I think some of you guys should take a look at Excite. They make just about everything. Worms, you want a giant curly tail worm? There you go. You want their 10-inch Maxis worm? There you go. I would love to have some Maxis worms to throw right now, but I don't know why I haven't bought any. Actually, you know what? I have a pack. I think they're in the boat. And I could have made those number 1, but I don't ever throw those, so I don't. I throw this one right here. So what do we have left? Jigs are done. Oh, miscellaneous stuff. That's right, miscellaneous. So miscellaneous being like a prop bait and a light jig head right here. This is my zero gravity, and it's basically just plastic. Buzz bait, prop bait right here by Spy Baits. That's being miscellaneous kind of stuff. Like I guess you consider those top water baits, but they're like kind of different, you know. I don't always throw this kind of weird stuff. And then right here we have the Optimum swim bait, or little Optimum guy right here, and they work. When I go pond fishing, I go out there to either catch. I will set that goal for the day. I'll make my first 5 casts. It's either I'm catching quantity or I'm catching quality. And the baits I showed you are the ones that I catch quality and quantity, and they even each other out. It all depends on the angler and how he uses his technique, his or her technique, to catch fish. If I wanted to, I'd go out there and catch 20-pound fish all day. Is that gonna make an interesting video? No, but to some people, yes. When I go out there, I do my best lately because I've been catching quite a bit of small, for my whole entire life. I just want to go out and catch fish. And then lately, since from when I was 15 to now, I'm 18 now. From 15 to then, I was catching these pound to 2-pound fish isn't that fun. I want to go out there and catch some 3 to 10 pounders. My PB's 10, 23 largemouth in a Angler's Choice tournament. My PB spot is 5 something, caught at Orville during the TOC. That fish was worth 500 and some change. PB smallmouth is 3 something, and that was just fun fishing at Tolick. Mainly my bass right there, my biggest striper is 5 something. I don't know, really fish that kind of stuff or something. But it's just, like I said, it takes technique. You can't just go out and buy a rod and just go throw a sink all day and expect to catch a 10-pounder. You could be the luckiest guy in the world. You're not going to go to a drainage ditch and catch a 5-pounder out of there, unless you live in Florida or Texas or something. Here in Cali, we can't just go walk down to our canals or something or to the river and just magically catch some fish. You know, like, it's just different, you know. It's just kind of hard. It takes skill and that kind of stuff. What does it take? I've been getting this question quite a bit, and it's what does it take to be a tournament quality or like a tournament angler? Anyone could be a tournament angler. I mean, you just pay the money and you're fishing a tournament. You consider yourself a tournament angler. But to be really good at it, you got to be consistent. And this year, I have not been very consistent. Have not been blowing the weights out of the water and catching the fish that I want. It's been like a rough year for me this year, along with my dad. I've been having to hold the team up a lot. And when I fish other tournaments with my friends, I definitely have been falling behind. Lately, they've been catching more of the fish. I just been out there basically just driving around. It's not been a good year for me. But I've been having fun lately, fun fishing and going out there and showing my friends stuff and everything. But to be consistent and be a good tournament angler, you gotta be able to go out there and you gotta get over, like, set like a goal. Like every day when I go out there and fish a tournament, I set a goal. I say I want to get 13 pounds. I want to get 15. I want to get 16. I want to set something that's reasonable. And then if I go out and then fish for the first 10, 20, 30, 40, an hour, 3 hours, and I see that, oh God, it's really tough right now, maybe I can narrow it down to 12 to 10 pounds and maybe get a check, but you're not going to win with 10 to 12 pounds. Unless you're fishing McClure and you're just going to get a limit of spots and maybe one kicker largemouth being like 5 to 7 pounds, that kind of stuff. So about the subscriber tournament, it is going to be in July. I know a lot of guys have been leaving comments, and it's absolutely perfect. Thank God for you guys. I definitely want to do it. I wanted to do it earlier before my friend Tim left for boot camp, but I don't see that happening. It's most likely going to be a Saturday later in July, probably July in the 20s, because that's when I will be free. July 20. When's the next Saturday in July that's in the 20s? It'll be that. That's what I'm hoping to set it for. But I will do a follow-up video going back over the tournament and all that kind of stuff. And this has been another episode of the Frey Experience, guys. Here's some more other baits that I probably should have showed you guys. Here's the new stuff by Jawbone. It's a rat. And here's something really cool. It's the Lunker Hunt Pocket Frog. Really cool. Green tea color, of course. And just overall, this isn't all my tackle, of course. It's just a couple boxes I always have on me all the time. And just stuff that I found in my bag that I always use that you guys probably would like to see. Frogs. So, guys, this has been another episode of the Frey Experience. I want to say thank you for all the support and subscribers, likes, comments, hate comments, all the good stuff, you know. And this has been another episode of the Frey Experience. And I want to say thank you again to all the people out there that are supporting the channel. And stay tuned. And have a wonderful day and catch some fish for me. #FreyFam.